like the French, the Germans, the Slovenians, the Italians, the Spanish, they're all beautiful. They're all different types of beautiful. So that's what being is. That's why Brexit is such a ridiculous nonsense. Yeah, I think it was Steve Bannon. He just has been doing the wrong stuff. He's completely deluded. I think demonic possession is what Bannon's problem is. Yeah, and Dominic Cummings as well. They're both demonically inspired. Oh God. Well, please just have a word with them, Donald. Yeah. You can say you've talked to me, it's fine. You can quote me, yeah. Philosopher for Peace, yeah. Head of the World Intellectual Forum for Europe, yeah. Feel free to ask them to give me a chat, because I'd love to talk to them both and set them right. I know. Wherever the light is, then the darkness appears and does its wobbling. But we have to stand up against it. Yeah, and the more light you are, the more these dark forces appear, yeah. No, everyone, look what happened to all the sages of history. Yes, in my commentary on the Quran, actually, I'm dealing with that at the moment, yeah. Yeah, President Rouhani, I'm going to finish, actually, with a quote from the Quran, because I'm doing my commentary, as I said. And, Donald, you've agreed you're going to read it, right? I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm actually working through the third surah at the moment, which is the 89th in the chronological sequence I'm working on. And I got to this wonderful surah. It's called Al-Imran. It's the family of Imran. And yeah, so Surah 3, verse 29, 30. I'll just read it and then make a few comments. I know, President Rouhani, you could explain this so much better than me, but well, hopefully when we meet in person. Yes, I'd love her. Yes, any of the commentaries on the Quran from the Shia perspective translated into English. Yes, I know there've been a few, haven't there? Yeah, I don't care how many volumes, please. I have a huge library. Yes, I would be deeply honoured. Yeah. I have the Shiite anthology, which quotes the Imams. So anyway, let me say this, Donald, if you want to listen, both of you. Say, whether ye hide what is in your hearts or reveal it, God knows it all. He knows what is in the heavens and what is on earth. And God has power over all things. On the day when every soul will be confronted with all the good it has done and all the evil it has done, it will wish there was a great distance between it and its evil. But God cautions you to remember himself, and God is full of kindness to those that serve him. Well, that's just two little verses from a sea of verses that the Quran is made of. Yes, I'm working on my commentary on it as we speak, in my everyday. And why I wanted to finish with those verses is that what the Quran is about, it's premised on this idea of a divine intelligence that can see into the very marrow of our being, all of us. This is beyond religion. This isn't whether you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim or anything. No, it's just that what I call the divine intelligence, which underlies our own mental faculties, yes. That's right, enlightenment is this kind of premise that Buddhists talk about, when your individual consciousness merges with a higher consciousness, yes. Well, I think all the traditions agree there is that higher consciousness. So what is it? Well, it's pretty vast, and if it plays a creative role in the universe as we see it in nature, in every tree, in every stone, in every star, in every galaxy, then it's what we can call cosmic intelligence. So of course it can see into us. This cosmic intelligence knows what is in the heavens. Now, blimey, that's vast, because the heavens are trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of light years in vastness. And we're just tiny little, we're like little snails chatting in a puddle here. and also everything that is on earth. So God's been listening into this conversation, right? Sorry about that. But we have to live as if that's true all the time. Because on the day when every soul will be confronted with all the good that we've done and all the evil we've done, it will wish there was a great distance between it and its evil. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Donald, but when that happens and in your post-mortem life review, you're going to be looking back on this Quaseem Suleiman thing as a, oh dear, that was a bad thing I did. That was a bit of evil. Well, if you just draw a line under it and say, that was a mistake, I'm not going to do any more, I'm sorry, I'm going to sack the people that advised it, etc., I don't think it'll be too hard on you. But if you then carry on and lead into a kind of, well, let's turn this into World War III then, I think it's going to be very, very bad for you. Yeah, and for millions of other people too. So please, don't go down that route. And then it says, God cautions you to remember himself. Well, that's very Socratic, because Socrates said we should always remember the source of goodness, the one, the good. And that true philosophy is about remembrance. So in this call, in this mediation, I'm just trying to ask you to remember the good. Yeah. I know, forget the bad. I mean, lots of Iranians have done bad things. Lots of Americans have. We could go on till eternity and describe all the bad things they've done. There's loads of criminals in American history and Iranian. Yeah, but let's just focus on the good. Let's try and remember the good. Let's try and remember the true heroes, like Jane Addams, who founded Hull House, the great woman, peace activist, who tried to stop World War I. Where's all the peace heroes of American history? Let's celebrate them. Martin Luther King and all the others. Yeah, and Thoreau, that's right. And then it finishes, and God is full of kindness to those that serve him. Well, who wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of God's kindness? If God is behind the entire universe, in all its beauty and majesty and grandeur, then, one would want to serve that divine intelligence, wouldn't one? And surely the best way is through peace. Well, I'm delighted you both agree. Now look, here we are. We're agreeing with each other. This is historic. Okay, so look, 5th of January, we've agreed that we want to be on the receiving end of God's kindness. Okay. So look, thank you. I'm deeply honoured you found time to listen to this particular peace philosopher. And I'm speaking on behalf of thousands, probably millions of people around the planet who are going to be deeply, deeply grateful if you can manage to talk away your hawks. Yeah, just say you've had a private mediation with a philosopher who runs the only multi-faith mediation service in the world. I made an intervention. I haven't told you everything that I could have done, but I'll save that for when we meet in person in Paris, okay? There's a lot more details. Yeah, and don't be dissuaded. I mean, if you are going to talk to Netanyahu, Mr. Trump, please don't allow him to, fill you with poison against the Iranian people. The man is going slightly odd in his vitriol against Iran. I can explain it psychologically. It's a kind of, it's the kind of young brother hating the elder brother. You see, without Iran, there would be no Judaism. There would be no possibility of a Jewish people. It was Iran that enabled it all to happen. If you read Nehemiah and Ezra and all the other parts, yeah, Darius and the great Cyrus and the great Zoroastrian kings, yeah, they enabled the Jews to come together and also to write the Holy Book, the Bible. And the Jews borrowed the alphabet that was used in the Persian Empire, Aramaic, to write the book in and formed the Hebrew script based on the Persian letters of the day. So, yeah, it was all written under the Persian watchful eye, effectively, which is why it's got a bit of a Manichaean streak in Genesis. The snake doesn't get a good look in, but yeah. Yes, and then what happened, I think, I don't know why, but there's a thing in initiatory transmissions that sometimes the student turns on the teacher. The youth will try and struggle against the elder. And I think that's what's happening between Israel and Iran. Israel, the young adolescent, which has stolen the idea of the Messiah from the Seishant concept in Zoroastrianism. Yeah, a lot of Judaism is actually reworked Zoroastrianism with new heroes in the chat line. It's a kind of Disney cartoon of Zoroastrianism, and they've stuck David, Solomon, Jacob, Isaac, Abraham in the sort of lineage of salvation, Moses. Yeah, but forgotten lots of other stuff. So, and that's what this whole dispute is about, isn't it? Who's got the real Messiah? Is it Jesus? Is it Moses? Or is it Muhammad? Yeah. Well, that's my World Intellectual Forum. We've set up, with my Institute of Peace Studies, we've set up this thing called WMASC. I don't know, but get your people researching it. So it's called the World Messiahship, Avatar and Seishant Council, WMASC. Precisely, if these wars are caused by rival battles over who's the best Messiah, then what we're saying is let's look at this rationally. Let's focus with divine intelligence, or divinely guided intelligence, onto this problematic. Are the Jews really the Messiah people? Are the Christians really the Messiah people? Are the Muslims really? Are the Shias? Are the Sunnis? Are the Baha'is? Are the Zoroastrians? Are the Buddhists? Let's everyone bring out their Messiah card in full plenitude of evidential discussion, and let's get the world's greatest thinkers comparing and contrasting. Well, precisely, that's what I'm thinking. I've already gone ahead to that, and I've come up with the proposition that what we're all going to say is, look, here's my Messiah card, there's your Messiah card, there's yours, and so on. There's my Maitreya, there's your Seishant, here's my 10 avatars, whatever. Well, none can pull off the salvation of this planet except we do it together. Yeah, so it's a concerted peace initiative by all the saints and all the sages of humanity, both in incarnation and those not in incarnation. Well, okay, but yeah, so, well, when we incarnate, we must have come from somewhere, Donald. Yeah, we must have come from somewhere. Now, I don't know what your past lives were. I've got a few theories, but whatever they were, they can be cleansed, purified, and redeemed if you do the right thing from now on. And the same with all of us. Poor old Quaseem, he's now going to be off looking for a new life, but maybe he'll come back as a great peace thinker. So look, that's really what I'm saying. Let's reconcile our ultimate metaphysical aspirations and get on the same team so that we're working together on what we can call the peace train, right? A friend of mine in South Korea, a great educator, set up this thing for children called the peace train. Kids draw images of peace. Yeah, you should do it with your kids. Get kids in Tehran and Washington to do that. Right, okay, well look, I'm going to commend you both to the searching of your hearts with the power of the Holy Spirit. And let us meet in Paris. I will try and set up the dates. And that's right. So I'm wishing you both from the bottom of my heart a happy Epiphany on the 6th of January, and may all our bright dreams come true. Thank you. That warms my heart to hear that. And just don't push any buttons and launch any kind of violent attacks, please. Bear in mind what I've said. Thank you. Amen. Whew, gosh. Well, that was quite a marathon. Blimey. I hope that that helps. I believe it will. One can only act in faith. I can't believe the divine intelligence behind this universe wants other than peace for this planet. But I do think that we have to be very careful and skillful in avoiding the hawks, circumventing the problems, the demonic forces, which are sort of burned out shells of people that have not got a free circulation of good ideas going on in them. They're into sort of revenge loops in their head. These are the Brexit types and the breakers up types, you know, the assassins of goodness. They're always roaming around wanting to break stuff up because they've got this revenge loop going. You know, those are the people behind the Nazis and behind all the kind of antis, you know, the anti-Semites, the anti-this, the anti-that, anti-Islamics. You know, everyone's anti these days. Well, I'm for everyone. I'm for love, which is for everything. Love is that ability to say yes to life, as James Joyce said. At the end of Ulysses, that yes is what will save this planet. And we all have to say it together. Right, okay, well, salam, shalom. Pax et fortitude, as they say in Latin, peace and strength. And I will hopefully keep you updated if this mediation goes ahead.